Welcome back to another episode of Week in Review. This week we'll take a look at the Argo SRV, the Hornet Heartseeker, the 2019 merch feedback, and more. So with that said, let's get started. So at number 5 we have ship sales. 2 sales appear on the website this week, releasing a new concept and celebrating Valentine's Day. We'll cover all of the new Argo SRV in the ATV section this week, but you can pick up the Space Tow Truck for $130 war bond and $150 non-war bond, with LTI and 6 months insurance respectively. The Valentine's sale lists 3 extra ships, with the Hornet receiving a new Heartseeker skin for this promotion. The Cyclone RC and the Origin 85X are also available during the sale, at $60 and $50 respectively. Both come with 6 months insurance and can be found over on the RSI website. The Hornet comes in at $175 war bond with LTI and $195 war bond with 6 months insurance. At number 4 we have the roadmap update. After the madness of last week's update, we're settled back down this week with a regular release. 3.5 adds an impressive 4% to its total, moving to 57% with over 6 weeks to go. Biggest wins are AI collision avoidance at 33%, ship AI combat behaviour improvements at 25%, and the Kastak arms Coda at 23%. ArcCorp and its moons continue to progress well, currently averaging 69%. The only 2 tasks to lose progress this week were vehicle tech updates losing 13% and vehicle scanning losing 4%. Overall a solid week for progress, and hopefully we'll start to see tasks completed in the coming weeks. 3.6 makes much less progress this week, losing 1% overall. Rest Stop Variations starts its initial work, moving to 6% completion, and we see the Law System V1 reappear from the 3.5 roadmap. Many seem happy to see this show up, though we're not sure to what extent it'll be implemented yet. 3.7 remains at 0 progress this week, but the character team got to work on Eddie Parr, moving him to 24%. Squadron continues to push forward, adding 1% to its roadmap this week. 5 tasks gained progress, and it's a good sign that these features will be completed on time. That's all for the roadmap this week. Solid progress from CIG, and it looks like they should be able to push 3.5 out on time with all the promised features. That said, things don't always go to plan, and I'll keep you updated as the weeks progress. At number 3 we have Around the Verse. This week's ATV focuses on the latest vehicle to be released, the Argo SRV, alongside a number of updates in the verse. CIG have developed some new techniques to improve the performance of a number of assets. By reducing the number of draw calls with the layer blend shader, each of the assets should perform much better and allow more assets to be shown on screen at any given time. The Argo SRV, or Search and Recovery Vehicle, is a single-man ship based around its tractor beam. The idea is to find and tow lost or damaged ships, allowing you to haul them to the nearest repair or refuel station. The beam can also be used to haul cargo, allowing for large cargo to be moved. The current range is expected to be around the Cutlass size, and you can use more than one ship to tow something larger. The Argo is currently available and priced at $130 war bond and $150 non-war bond, with LTI and 6 months insurance respectively, and can be found bundled into packs with other ships. The initial tests of traffic is being prototyped for planets such as ArcCorp. This makes the planet feel much more alive, and adds some interest as you're flying overhead. And that's all for ATV this week. Plenty of new content and lots of interesting things to look at for the coming months. At number 2 we have Reverse the Verse. This week's RTV has us catch up with the audio team and the work they've been doing on the most recent updates. The first question of the week relates to the sonic booms and how they might affect the Star Citizen universe. The team are looking to build them into the current flight system, but it won't be a system of its own. It'll be a simplified version, but should have the same effect. No audio work has yet been started on the Carrack, despite demand from the community, but it should begin later this year before its Q4 release. The team have been working on a system to model the sound of small particles hitting your ship, for example when you fly through wreckage or asteroid fields. It's not roadmapped yet, but it should add some depth to the audio experience. CIG are currently only planning to have one voice pack per manufacturer, and are figuring out how sentient the ship AI should be. That said, they're willing to revisit the idea of changing ship voices once the ship becomes more fleshed out. In lore, suits and ships contain a sound simulator to make space feel and sound much more realistic by faking sounds as if you were in atmosphere. This is supposed to improve your hearing and awareness in space. The team are currently trying to work out how this will degrade, how it can be damaged, and how you can use it to your advantage. CIG like to both record their own sound from real-world sources and also use existing audio libraries or synthesize audio. They don't really have a preference for which, just whichever one produces the best results. Surround sound support is being worked on to produce better audio for those users, though the audio team can't comment specifically on tech such as Atmos. Voice changes for pirates aren't planned right now, but the audio team love the idea of this appearing in the verse one day. CIG will be adding the sound of rain hitting the ship, but they don't currently know how they're going to go about doing this. One of the more interesting questions of the week, CIG might implement different toilet sounds for different toilet manufacturers. This was asked by the community, and the team responded that they won't rule it out, but it's not currently a priority. CIG use raycasting in a number of directions to create reverb, and this will be tested further with the caves that are planned to release soon. There are currently no plans to allow users to change the audio mix too much, as it might give an unfair advantage. That said, CIG may tweak this in the future depending on how things go. The game previously featured dialogue items for some emotes, but given the new VoIP and FOIP systems, this might not be pursued because you can add your own voice lines using VoIP. There's currently no water sounds for the hot tub, etc., but CIG are going to be working on it when it becomes required for the game. Plans for playing your own music in the hangars is still on hold as the legal team work out the details of how this will work. That's not to say it won't exist, but there are a few things to figure out before it's implemented. The piano will hopefully have richer interfaces in the future to allow you to do more than just press use, but it's still very early for any decisions to be made. Ship PA systems will be available in the future. They're currently being worked on and are functional, but there are some tweaks and changes to make before we see the first iteration. And that's all for RTV this week. Tons going on in the world of Star Citizen audio, and CIG are building some incredibly immersive tech in the coming patches. And finally, at number 1, we have the community overview. The community this week are continuing to pore over the roadmap, commenting on tweaks and changes we've seen. They're also interested in the new Argo SRV, and many are happy to see the community demand for a tow ship answered. We also see a resurgence of interest in the lore system now that it's reappeared onto the 3.6 roadmap. CIG are asking the community to comment on the existing merch offerings on the store, and tell them what merch we'd like to see over the coming year. Comments are still open, and I'll link the Spectrum post down below. I'd strongly recommend you go and leave your thoughts, and the current leading demand is physical ship models that you can purchase. That's all from me for this week. Like if you liked it, get subscribed, and leave me a comment down below letting me know what kind of merch you'd be interested in. Don't forget to enter the giveaway at the link in the video description, and I'll see you in next week's episode of Week in Review.